Good evening, and thank you for joining us today. We begin with some truly heartbreaking news that has sent shockwaves through the music world and beyond. Today, we lost a legend, a true icon whose influence transcended generations and genres. This is a story about a man who defined heavy metal, redefined celebrity, and touched millions of lives around the globe. Please stay with us as we honor a remarkable life and share the overwhelming outpouring of love from fans and fellow artists alike. It is with profound sadness that we report the passing of John Michael Ozzy Osbourne, the legendary frontman of Black Sabbath and the self-proclaimed Prince of Darkness. Ozzy Osbourne, the heavy metal legend whose style, persona, and unpredictability transcended the music world, died Tuesday at the age of 76. He was with his family and surrounded by love, his family said in a statement. It is with more sadness than mere words can convey that we have to report that our beloved Ozzy Osbourne has passed away this morning, his family said in a statement on Tuesday, July 22. He was with his family and surrounded by love. We ask everyone to respect our family privacy at this time. The news broke in the early hours of Tuesday morning, and within minutes, social media platforms were flooded with tributes from musicians, celebrities, and fans worldwide. The impact of this loss cannot be overstated. We're talking about an artist who literally helped create an entire genre of music and influenced countless musicians over 5 decades. For those who may not be familiar with the full scope of Ozzy's incredible career, this was a man who rose from the working-class neighborhoods of Birmingham, England, to become one of the most recognizable figures in rock and roll history. His journey was anything but conventional, filled with both tremendous highs and devastating lows that he faced with remarkable resilience. Let's talk about where it all began, with Black Sabbath, the band that would forever change the landscape of rock music. Formed in Birmingham in 1968, Black Sabbath consisted of Ozzy on vocals, Tony Iommi on guitar, Geezer Butler on bass, and Bill Ward on drums. What they created together was nothing short of revolutionary. Black Sabbath didn't just play music, they created a new sonic universe that was darker, heavier, and more intense than anything that had come before. Their self-titled debut album in 1970 is widely considered the birth of heavy metal, featuring songs that explored themes of darkness, war, and existential dread with a musical backdrop that was equally haunting and powerful. Songs like Iron Man, War Pigs, and Paranoid became anthems for generations of fans who found solace in the band's ability to articulate feelings of alienation and rebellion. Ozzy's distinctive wailing vocals, combined with Iommi's crushing guitar riffs, created a sound that was both terrifying and beautiful. The band's influence extended far beyond their immediate success. They opened the door for countless metal bands that followed, from Metallica to Iron Maiden to modern acts who still cite Black Sabbath as their primary inspiration. Without Ozzy and Black Sabbath, the entire landscape of rock and metal music would look completely different today. While Black Sabbath established Ozzy as a musical force, his solo career transformed him into a cultural phenomenon unlike anything the entertainment world had ever seen. After being fired from Black Sabbath in 1979 due to his increasingly erratic behavior and substance abuse issues, many people wrote off Ozzy Osbourne as a has-been. They couldn't have been more wrong. His 1980 solo debut, Blizzard of Oz, not only proved his staying power, but showcased an artistic evolution that few saw coming. The album featured classics like Crazy Train and Mr. Crowley, songs that remain staples of rock radio to this day and demonstrated Ozzy's ability to reinvent himself while staying true to his metal roots. But it wasn't just the music that made Ozzy a household name. It was his larger-than-life personality and unpredictable antics that captured the public imagination. Ozzy Osbourne, frontman of 1970s heavy metal band Black Sabbath, earned his infamy by biting the head off a bat on stage and pursuing a drug-fueled lifestyle before reinventing himself as a lovable if often foul-mouthed reality TV star. The infamous bat-biting incident at a 1982 concert in Des Moines became the stuff of rock legend, cementing Ozzy's reputation as someone who would do absolutely anything on stage. But beneath the shock value and outrageous behavior was a genuine artist who continued to produce meaningful music throughout the decades. Just when it seemed like Ozzy had reached the peak of his cultural relevance, he managed to reinvent himself once again in the early 2000s with The Osbournes, a reality TV show that gave viewers an unprecedented look into his family life with wife Sharon and children Kelly and Jack. The show was groundbreaking in many ways. It humanized someone who had been viewed primarily as a larger-than-life rock star, showing him as a father, husband, and surprisingly endearing family man despite his continued struggles with various personal demons. The contrast between the Prince of Darkness persona and the bumbling, loving father figure was both hilarious and touching. The Osbournes became MTV's most-watched series at the time and introduced Ozzy to an entirely new generation of fans who may never have discovered his music otherwise. It also showcased the incredible strength and business acumen of Sharon Osbourne, who had been managing Ozzy's career for decades and proved to be the real power behind the Osbourne empire. The show's success led to numerous other opportunities, including Sharon's role as a judge on various talent shows and the family's continued presence in popular culture. It demonstrated Ozzy's remarkable ability to evolve and stay relevant across multiple decades and different entertainment mediums. In recent years, Ozzy's public life has been marked by significant health challenges that he faced with characteristic determination and openness. He was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, underwent multiple surgeries, and dealt with various other health issues that would have sidelined many people his age. Throughout these struggles, Ozzy continued to work on music and maintained his connection with fans. His 2020 album, Ordinary Man, marked his first solo release in a decade and proved that his creative spirit remained undiminished despite his physical challenges. The album featured collaborations with artists like Elton John and Post Malone, showing his continued relevance across generational and genre boundaries. The goth rocker performed less than 2 weeks ago in England, referring to what would become his final performance. This recent concert, which took place as part of Black Sabbath's Back to the Beginning reunion shows, represented a poignant farewell to the stage that had been his home for over 5 decades. His determination to continue performing despite his health challenges was truly inspiring to fans and fellow musicians alike. It showed the depth of his commitment to his art and his audience, even when his body was no longer willing to cooperate with his artistic ambitions. One of the most touching tributes came from an unexpected source: Aquaman star Jason Momoa, who had developed a special relationship with Ozzy in recent weeks. Meanwhile, Jason Momoa, who hosted Osbourne's final Back to the Beginning concert in early July, expressed his grief simply and sincerely. "Love you at Ozzy Osbourne. All my aloha at Sharon Osbourne and Ohana. So grateful. R.I.P." The Aquaman star wrote on Instagram, sharing a photo from their time together. "It was a dream come true, pinch me moment." Jason Momoa on hosting Ozzy Osbourne's final Black Sabbath concert weeks before his death. This quote captures just how meaningful this experience was for the Hollywood action star, who had clearly been deeply moved by his interaction with the metal legend. The fact that Momoa was chosen to host Ozzy's final performance speaks to the cross-generational and cross-cultural appeal that Ozzy maintained throughout his career. Here was a major Hollywood star from a completely different entertainment sphere, who was genuinely starstruck by the opportunity to be part of Ozzy's farewell to the stage. As he performed from a throne on stage at Villa Park less than 3 weeks ago, Osbourne told 42,000 fans, "You've no idea how I feel. Thank you from the bottom of my heart." These words, spoken at what would be his final performance, now carry even greater weight and poignancy. The response from Ozzy's Black Sabbath bandmates has been understandably emotional and deeply moving. Black Sabbath shared a brief, immortal tribute to Ozzy Osbourne following his death on July 22, 2025. While the band kept their official statement short, the impact of their words resonated powerfully with fans around the world. Tons of fans took to the group's post to share their own tributes, with one person writing, "Thank you for changing millions of lives around the world with your music and your message. Ozzy forever." Another added, "Thank you, Ozzy." The relationship between Ozzy and his Black Sabbath bandmates was complex, marked by both incredible creative chemistry and personal conflicts that led to his dismissal from the band in 1979. However, they reunited multiple times over the years, and their recent Back to the Beginning concerts showed that despite any past differences, the musical bond between them remained unbreakable. Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, and Bill Ward understood better than anyone what they had created together with Ozzy. Their tribute, while brief, carried the weight of over 5 decades of shared history, both triumphant and challenging. The music industry's response to Ozzy's passing has been overwhelming, with tributes pouring in from artists across all genres and generations. Pearl Jam founding member and lead guitarist Mike McCready paid tribute to Osbourne on X, recalling his first time experiencing Osbourne's music. "Sad to hear Ozzy died today," he wrote on the band's page. "When I was in high school I discovered Sabbath. War Pigs was terrifying and powerful, showing how Ozzy's music had influenced even grunge legends. "I am so very sad to hear of the death of Ozzy Osbourne," the Rolling Stones guitarist wrote. "What a lovely goodbye concert he had it back to the beginning in Birmingham." This tribute from a Rolling Stones member highlights the respect Ozzy commanded even among rock royalty from different eras. "Farewell, Ozzy, what a journey sail on up there. Finally at peace. You truly changed the planet of rock," wrote Robert Plant, showing that even Led Zeppelin's legendary frontman recognized Ozzy's unique contribution to rock music. "He was and will continue to be a rock and roll legend," Cooper said in a statement hours after Osbourne died on Tuesday. Alice Cooper's tribute was particularly meaningful, as both artists had been pioneers in theatrical rock performances and had maintained mutual respect throughout their careers. What made Ozzy Osbourne truly remarkable wasn't just his musical talent or his outrageous stage persona. It was his incredible ability to transform himself throughout his life while maintaining his authentic core. From a working-class kid in Birmingham to a global superstar, from a drug-addled rock star to a reality TV patriarch, from a young rebel to an elder statesman of rock, Ozzy consistently defied expectations and stereotypes. His struggles with addiction were well documented and nearly cost him everything multiple times. But his journey to sobriety and his openness about these challenges helped countless fans who were facing similar battles. He never pretended to be perfect, and his honesty about his flaws made him more relatable and beloved to his audience. The transformation from the Prince of Darkness to a lovable family man on reality TV could have seemed like a betrayal of his rock credentials, but instead, it showed the full dimensionality of his character. He was simultaneously the guy who bit the head off a bat and the devoted father who worried about his children, and fans loved him for both aspects of his personality. His later years, marked by health challenges and a slower pace, showed yet another transformation, from the wild man of rock to a dignified elder who had earned his place in music history through decades of dedication to his craft and his fans. The true measure of Ozzy Osbourne's legacy isn't just in the albums he sold or the concerts he performed. It's in the countless musicians he inspired and the way he changed the possibilities of what a rock star could be. His influence can be heard in everything from death metal to pop music, and his approach to celebrity paved the way for the kind of authentic, unfiltered public personas we see across social media today. Young musicians today still study Black Sabbath's early albums to understand the fundamentals of heavy music, while Ozzy's solo career showed them how to maintain artistic integrity while embracing commercial success. His willingness to collaborate with artists from different genres, from his recent work with Post Malone to his classical collaborations, demonstrated the power of remaining open to new influences throughout one's career. Perhaps most importantly, Ozzy showed multiple generations that it was okay to be different, to embrace your darkness, and to find your own path even when society tried to categorize or dismiss you. For countless fans who felt like outsiders, Ozzy's music and persona provided a sense of belonging and validation that literally saved lives. His impact on popular culture extends far beyond music. From fashion and visual aesthetics to attitudes about mental health and addiction recovery, Ozzy helped normalize conversations that were once taboo and showed that vulnerability could coexist with strength. As we reflect on this tremendous loss, it's important to remember that while Ozzy Osbourne the person may be gone, his artistic legacy will continue to inspire and influence for generations to come. His music remains as powerful today as it was when it was first recorded, and his approach to life, embracing both the light and dark aspects of human experience, continues to resonate with people around the world. The timing of his death, coming so soon after his final performance with Black Sabbath, feels both tragic and somehow fitting. He went out on his own terms, surrounded by the love of his family, and having just shared one final moment with the fans who had supported him throughout his incredible journey. Osbourne and his fellow original Black Sabbath members, Tony Iommi, Terrence Geezer Butler, and Bill Ward, reunited for these final shows, providing closure not just for the band, but for the millions of fans who had followed their journey for over 5 decades. His influence on music, on celebrity culture, and on our understanding of what it means to live authentically in the public eye cannot be overstated. He was truly one of a kind, and the world feels a little bit dimmer without his presence. Today we say goodbye to a true original, someone who helped create heavy metal, redefined what it meant to be a rock star, and showed us all that it's possible to reinvent yourself while staying true to your core identity. Ozzy Osbourne was many things: musician, performer, father, husband, survivor. But above all, he was completely, unapologetically himself. His journey from the factories of Birmingham to the stages of the world, from the depths of addiction to the heights of artistic achievement, from the Prince of Darkness to beloved family patriarch, represents one of the most remarkable stories in entertainment history. While we mourn his passing, we can take comfort in knowing that his music, his influence, and his spirit will live on forever. Every time someone picks up a guitar and plays a heavy riff, every time an artist chooses authenticity over commercial safety, every time someone finds the courage to be themselves despite society's expectations, a little bit of Ozzy's legacy continues. Thank you for spending this time with us as we remembered and celebrated the extraordinary life of Ozzy Osbourne. His story reminds us that legends never truly die. They live on in the lives they touch, the music they create, and the courage they inspire in others to be authentically themselves. We encourage you to share your own memories and tributes in the comments below. Whether you discovered Ozzy through Black Sabbath's groundbreaking early albums, his successful solo career, or the Osbournes reality show, we'd love to hear how his work impacted your life. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all the latest entertainment news and celebrity tributes. In times like these, it's important that we come together as a community to celebrate the artists who have shaped our lives and our culture. Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. Thank you for the music, the memories, and the reminder that it's always okay to let your freak flag fly. Until we meet again, rock on.